What is up, my aesthetic boys? It's Fresh, back with another video. On today's episode of r/ChoosingBeggars, expect everything from hustling monks to cooking body pillows, if such a thing existed. Hi all! I decided I'm ready for a girlfriend. Requirements: must live at my house, full time. Must always look sexy. Must always be home, no going out. House must always be clean. Food must be hot and ready the exact moment I'm home. Well, he's not asking for that much, and he's clearly putting a lot of himself on the table in return. Who wouldn't want to, apply for this position? Oh my god, he responded. It's been more than 2 days. I'm done. I got 0 applications, but the lettering looks nice at least. How hard is it? All I asked was to meet simple requirements. How hard is that? Whatever, you whores. You're all fugly anyway. However, if you want to apply and haven't gotten around to it yet, that's okay. But I have added more to my requirements. Must be a cute Asian or something similar. I would prefer if you had big eyes or looked similar to Madoka. If you don't know who that is, don't bother. Well, OP, unfortunately, body pillow technology hasn't quite reached the point where it can cook meals for you, but if you hold out long enough, I'm sure we'll get there. My girlfriend's choosing beggar cousin strikes again. I posted a story about 2 weeks ago about my girlfriend's cousin, the choosing beggar, getting upset because we refused to pay for her plane ticket and accommodations on our anniversary trip. Well, in the space of 2 weeks, everything was relatively quiet. Until last night. Yesterday, I came home from work extremely late, but had a few of my buddies ask if I was up to play some video games with them. Yes, grown men still play video games. It was around 1:30 in the morning when I decided to call it quits and head to bed. I get into bed with my girlfriend for about 10 minutes when I hear the front door being pounded on. I'm wondering who the hell is banging on my door at this hour of the night, and naturally, I'm very irritated. My girlfriend gets up and goes to answer the door, and to her surprise, there was her cousin in all her glory standing in the doorway. My girlfriend calls me to come downstairs, and I'm very unwillingly getting myself out of bed to see what's happening. I go downstairs and see Choosing Beggar and immediately ask what the hell she's doing at my house at this time of the night, and I reminded her that since our previous incident, she was to never come back around here. She mopes and groans about how she needs a place to stay because she got kicked out of her apartment. She was behind on rent. Now, I'm completely aware that Choosing Beggar sees my girlfriend and me as easy targets when she needs money or any odd favor, but I really wasn't having it that night. I wanted her out of my house immediately. I told her straight up that she's not welcome here and she needs to take whatever she has and leave us right now. This is where stuff gets heated. Choosing Beggar refuses to leave, and I threaten to call the cops. She shouts at me and says, "You aren't even a part of my family. Your girlfriend hasn't even said that I can't stay." We both look at my girlfriend, who says, "It's his house. If he doesn't want you here, you can't stay here." The look of shock on Choosing Beggar's face was priceless. How could my cousin not offer me a place to stay? My girlfriend responds by saying, "How could my cousin only show up at my house when she needs something? I want you out of here now." Choosing Beggar still refuses to leave and starts shouting at us that we owe her this favor because we, quote, didn't want to help her go see Asia. I'm furious at this point, but my girlfriend tells me to go upstairs and get some sleep because she'll handle it. Now, my girlfriend is very short and cute and normally extremely nice. Not the type of girl you'd expect to have a temper, but when she's upset, you'd really hope that you're nowhere near her. I didn't leave, but I stopped talking and watched my girlfriend completely murder her cousin with words. Oh, wrong subreddit, my bad. Every past bad deed or wrongdoing that CB has ever done to her came bursting out and no one could shut her up. After this onslaught, Choosing Beggar started crying and my girlfriend looked her in the eyes and said, "This is the last time we will ever speak." Choosing Beggar took her stuff and walked out of our home, and I witnessed my girlfriend turn into a badass. Now, for those of you who didn't catch my last video, which featured the first story in this saga, if you will, and you're interested in hearing my thoughts I'll toss the link to that video down in the description. Basically, what happened, as OP vaguely outlines in this story, is that Choosing Beggar, or the cousin of his girlfriend, wanted to go on their anniversary trip, invited herself, and then expected them to pay for all of her travel, transportation, accommodations, and also wanted spending money. After all that, and also asking for money on frequent occasions, she comes back. She comes back asking for a place to stay, and as OP's girlfriend said, "How come you're my cousin, but you only ever want to see me when you need something? You need money. You need something of value, accommodations, food, whatever the case may be." I'll be honest, if I were in this position, if this was my cousin, no matter what said cousin had done to me, I don't know if I'd have the courage, I guess, to say no. To say, "You need to get out of my house." I honestly don't know if I could do it. But at the end of the day, all that Choosing Beggar's doing is using her family. Emotionally abusing, emotionally manipulating her family members to try to achieve monetary often ends. Good on you, OP's girlfriend, for putting her in her place. Hey bro, we've been reaching out to a few guys like you who fit our style to potentially collab. We don't normally do this, but if we do decide to work together, we would be happy to offer you 50% off everything in our store so that you can try out our dope new threads and come on board as an official ambassador. All we ask though is that if we do move ahead together, you tag us in a pic of you wearing it and we will feature you on our page. So in a few sentences, tell us why you think you would be a great ambassador. Nah, I'm alright, man. No, please tell me more about how I can become a brand ambassador by buying your clothing. If anyone has an extra board they don't use, it would be greatly appreciated. No Walmart or Target BS. I don't know, man. The ground underneath him's literally wet from the amount of steez that he's dripping. And I'll tell ya, Walmart and Target don't match that steez level. Come on. 1 star. As a last-minute resort, me and my sister went to the Subway to get 63-foot-long subs for my grandson's confirmation party and had to wait for over an hour for the subs. Ridiculously long wait, and the lady who took my order seemed really annoyed with me. Wow, I wonder why they'd be annoyed. You sprung a last-minute 63-sub order on them, and they still managed to get them out in a time of less than 1 minute per foot-long sandwich. How on earth can you be upset with that? Looking for a cash-only paying job. No ID or questions that pays at least $30 an hour with the ability to work my own schedule. Ooh, the feeling when you're trying to get your wallet a little bit more green, but your card still ain't. Hey guys, this is Austin. Oh, wrong channel, sorry. Our babysitter is moving at the beginning of June and we need help. Days are Monday, 8 to 4:45, Wednesday, 8 to 2:15, and Friday, 8 to 4:45. We can only pay $100 a week, and we live right up the mountain from this location. She's 4 months old. Please message me if you're interested. Thanks. So, less than $5 an hour. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are plenty of people out there that will indeed watch your child for less than $5 an hour. However, those are not the people that you want to be watching your child. Coworker wants a free baby blanket because I made someone else one. One of our coworkers is pregnant. She's a really good coworker and really nice. I consider her a work friend. I couldn't make it to her baby shower and really couldn't afford gifts. So I made her a baby blanket. Just a very basic granny square crocheted blanket, but it still took me a very long time since it's a hobby and I don't practice much. Since I couldn't make it to her baby shower, I brought it to work with me so that another coworker could take it for me. I was showing it off just because I was proud of it when another coworker pipes up. Her, make me a blanket. Pay me? What do you mean, pay you? You made her one. Yeah, because we're friends and she's having a baby. I have babies! Your kids are school-aged, and you and I work together like 3 hours a week. So you won't make me one? If you give me money for materials, note, acrylic yarn isn't that expensive, and multiply that by 2 for my time, I'll make you a small blanket. Whatever, I'll just make it myself. Sounds like a plan. Will you show me? I suggest Google and YouTube. At that point, I just walked away from the conversation before I said something really rude. Now, I would say this woman might deserve something really rude to be said to her, but at the same time, you're at work, so good on you, OP, for keeping a level head and not getting in any extra trouble because of how aggravating of a person this particular choosing beggar can be. Combine all of the facets of choosing beggar's life that we know of, their lack of particular relation to our OP, who is the one making the blanket, the fact that she doesn't actually have any babies, and the fact that this was a gift for another friend's baby shower. I have one last question. And I can't stress this enough, why? Doctor Who fans furious after BBC asks them to come up with new ideas for free. The BBC sent an email to sci-fi fans asking them to send in any, quote, intriguing untold stories and stories ripe for reimagining. I feel like the BBC is asking a question that they don't really want answered. They're gonna get some responses like this one from fanfiction.net/TV/Doctor Who, the second result on the first page. Nearer to You by Perfectly Piper. Rose is trapped in the parallel universe when she discovers that she's pregnant with the Doctor's baby after a drunken one-night stand. How will she cope with this big adjustment? I don't even need to read the story to know exactly what happens. I can picture Rose looking up at the Doctor saying, "Moisturize me." How much would you drop the price if I threw in a TT-inch Philips HD TV? I don't see any cracks on it, turns on but can't see no image. You want me to give you a discount for you leaving your broken and non-functioning TV in my house? Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could do that. How much of a discount would you be able to do? Well, for any of you who've been asking for an episode of r/whoosh, here's the first post. Oh, just a regular monk chilling on the street. Bet he's not up to anything weird or out of character. Haiku. Humble monk's request. Apple iPhone XS. Feeling generous? Yeah, well, I have a haiku in response. A haiku by Fresh. Real monks don't need fancy phones. Stop scamming people. My supervisor at my unpaid internship wants me to put a full-time, paid job on hold so I can continue to work for her for free for 2 more weeks. I just finished my final year of grad school, Master's in English. Congratulations, OP. And I decided to do an internship instead of a second class this past semester to switch things up a bit. I found an unpaid internship that I could complete for class credit with a local magazine. The magazine required 20 hours a week, which was much more than I needed for class credit, but it was a great experience. My internship took place within a smaller division of the main magazine company, so there was only a head editor, an assistant editor, myself, and one other intern on the editorial side of things. About 2 weeks into my internship, the assistant editor moved to a different position in the company, and 2 weeks after that, the second intern quit. That left me doing the work of the assistant editor and 2 interns. Remember, this was an unpaid position, but was getting class credit and I mostly enjoyed the work, so I don't mind. The head editor even suggested I could take over the assistant editor position upon graduation. It soon became clear that the assistant editor position would only be part-time. I was of course hoping for a full-time job after graduation, and I expressed this to my head editor. She said she would work with the company's owner to figure something out. 2 months and 1 meeting with the owner later, I was still being strung along, so I started applying for other positions just in case. On Friday evening, I was offered a full-time position with another company. Congratulations again, OP. It pays well and has great benefits, and I would be crazy to pass it up. My classes ended last week, and my internship is only supposed to last until May. At the time I'm writing this, tomorrow is May 1st, so I figured I would finish up at my internship this week. Come this past Monday morning, I informed the head editor about the offer and that they want me to start next Monday, so in 1 week. She requested that I give her 2.5 weeks notice. Yes, she wants me to continue working for free for 2 weeks so she can quickly find another intern for me to train, despite the fact that my grades are already in, despite the fact that I've been doing far, far more than an intern ever should for free for the past 4 months. I'm honestly astounded and not even sure what to do, but I also can't help but laugh. Man, problems like this with young interns are way too common, way too common. A lot of companies out there, both small and large, will often try to take advantage of both college students and recent graduates to try to get a lot more work out of them for free than anyone really should. This is work that they definitely should be paid for. There is value to some unpaid internships when you're learning a craft, things like that, don't get me wrong, but there have been court cases that decide on what should and shouldn't be paid. And well, when you're filling a spot that was previously occupied by a paid, potentially full-time position, you should be getting paid for that. In fact, there was a whole lawsuit a few years back against Fox Searchlight Pictures about unpaid interns, and they ended up having to pay a pretty large amount of money. It's a topic that I think is really interesting, and if anyone's interested in hearing more, let me know in the comments below. Okay, that'll be $4.84. Ooh, how much would it be if I posted it for my 75,000 followers and tagged you? $4.84. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. Be sure to subscribe for more daily Reddit content. Drop a like if you liked the video, and I will see you all tomorrow.